The goal: to create a historical time series of option prices which are consistent across time and which are generated with the same properties the instruments have today, so that we can analyze distributions, calculate means, standard deviations, correlations, etc., to perform risk measurement, risk management, expected return analysis, and properly compare instruments to each other. Comparing stock to an option. Stock is perpetual. Options expire. Stock percentage move is independent of the stock price level. For an option, the percentage move depends on the stock price level, or the moneyness. For a stock, the prices exist every day after the IPO. For an option, prices of a contract exist for a short while after it comes into existence until expiration. The risk and return of a 110 call that expires in December is different in October than it was in September. In September, it had one more month of life to go deeper in or out of the money. In September, the underlying stock was trading at a different level, so the moneyness has changed. A time series of historical option prices is a time series of apples and oranges, since the option being priced was inherently different every day. It's like a stock chart made up of Apple's return on Monday, Google's return on Tuesday, IBM's return on Wednesday, and so on. And we may not even have that series over a very long historical window. The exchange-traded options available today may have only started trading recently, so the contract's historical price series may only go back a few weeks. And historical price series for OTC options aren't even published. The fundamental problem is, for stocks, commodities, and FX, we have a time series of prices which we can analyze for means, standard deviations and volatility, correlations, and more, to measure and manage risk, to compare trading strategies, to run rich-cheap reports, to attribute performance, and more. How do we do that for options? How do we create a historical time series of option prices which are apples to apples, where the risk and return characteristics of the option are the same every day in the history, on which we can run all the same analytics we already use for stocks, commodities, and FX? The solution? Calculate the price where today's option would have traded for each date in the past. If today's option has 2 months to expiration, then for each historical date, price an option with 2 months to expiration. If today's option is 10% in the money, then for each historical date, price an option that is 10% in the money. And if we want to measure the risk and return over the next week, then price the option weekly over the historical time window to calculate weekly profits and losses. There are 4 ways that we can price the options historically, and 4 what we'll call rebalancing rules to use. We can use a constant strike price over time, or constant moneyness with a floating strike price, and we can use a constant expiration date, or a constant term to expiration. This leads to 4 possible price series that we can generate, and each of them has their own uses. Some may be better than others. We could have a constant expiration date and a constant strike price. And this is what we have when we have a regular time series of options. This allows us to analyze the performance of a particular actual option contract held over time, even though the risk changes every day. It also allows us to fill in missing data in a time series of actual prices. We can also have a constant term to expiration, where the expiration date changes over time, along with a constant strike price. This allows you to create long time series covering several years for options with a particular strike price and term. Each series is like an index displaying changes over long time intervals. We can also have a constant expiration date and constant moneyness. This allows you to compare time series of, say, at-the-money December options to at-the-money October options, revealing opportunities created by skew and smile. And finally, a constant term to expiration combined with a constant moneyness. This allows apples-to-apples time series to analyze mean, standard deviation, VAR, etc., and get the risk and return characteristics which stay the same over time. Here's a way to view the four types of price series. Each box represents the price of an option on a particular date. The left edge of the box is the pricing date, and the right edge of the box is the expiration date. In all cases, the left edge of the box moves towards the right as the option is priced moving forward in time. When the right-hand edge of the box stays fixed at the far right of the picture, like here, we have a constant expiration date. When the right edge of the box moves towards the right, we have a constant term to expiration. In all cases, the width of the box is the remaining term. This has a constant term to expiry. The bottom of the box is the strike, and the top is where the stock is trading. Tall boxes are deep in the money. If the bottom of the box is always at the word strike, like here, it is a constant strike. And when the box floats up and down, it is a changing strike, but constant moneyness. The width of the box is the term to expiration, and the height is the moneyness. Red boxes are out of the money calls, while blue are in the money. This is an example of constant moneyness with a fixed expiration date. This is a constant term to expiration and constant moneyness. This provides the best apples-to-apples time series. Another way to create profits and losses that come from the same risk-return profile every period is to use historical VAR. This creates a scenario for each historical date, with each scenario generated by applying the historical market data change to today's market. This spreadsheet shows a concrete example. We have 5 days of historical prices for a stock, as well as 5 days of implied option vol. We also see that today the stock is trading at 110, and an at-the-money option has a vol of 0.3 or 30% for an option price of 3.68. This gives us 4 date pairs, for which we can calculate the percentage change in stock price and the percentage change in vol. We then apply each of the 4 changes in stock price and vol to today's 110 stock price and today's 30% vol, giving us 4 hypothetical scenarios of stock price and vol for tomorrow. We then calculate the theoretical price of the option using the same 110 strike, 1 less day to expiry, and the simulated stock price and vol. This gives us 4 potential option prices and 4 potential one-day profits and losses. If we do this for 2 years daily, we'll have 500 scenarios, and the risk-return statistics can be used to make informed trading decisions.